Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Nacho Daddies podcast. This is our second ever episode. It wasn't going to be. We did have a little bit of a technical difficulty in the last thing that we recorded. I am Adam Redman, but I am only 50% of the host goodness here. Hey, who's that sitting across from me? That's Taylor.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
You doing
Pretty
all
good.
right?
Yeah, I'm
How are you mentally?
Ooh, that's always a tough question. Solid.
Solid. That's good, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I've been a bit of a wreck, but there's been a bit of a roller coaster going on in my life. But
Yeah.
I got good family behind me, got good friends behind me. Yeah.
Cool.
And by good friends behind me, I mean
Sounds pretty solid as well.
very, very tight group of friends that reach out and say, hey, man, how you doing?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I was on the internet earlier, and we talked about it a little bit through Discord. We kind of happened upon that water slide that got made that was tragic incident happened.
Yeah.
It was in Kansas, I believe, and it was called Verrückt, which means insanity in German. And unfortunately, like a 13-year-old boy got his head decapitated.
Clean cut.
So this, I know, sounds like a sad way to start the podcast. It was years ago. Unfortunately, the boy obviously didn't survive. But I started, watching other videos of other theme park problems.
Oh, no.
That like deaths and injuries and stuff like that.
Dark.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't great. But then I remembered back in 2003, there was a death at Holiday World, which is nearby us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So for any of the listeners who don't know, Holiday World is in Santa Claus, Indiana, and it's holiday themed. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
they have different sections like. There's Christmas and Halloween. There's Thanksgiving. What other? Are there any others?
There's a 4th of July.
4th of July. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
So all the little sections are themed. Like
Uh-huh.
some of the rides in Halloween are like ghosts and scarecrows and stuff like that. The
Raven.
Raven is
The Legend.
Yeah.
The Voyage.
The Voyage is in Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. The Gobbler Getaway is a favorite of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but the incident that happened in 2003 was on the Raven.
Yep.
A woman from New Jersey came to ride the Raven.
Mm-hmm.
It won several awards in its time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was #1 roller coaster
Wooden
in
roller coaster.
the world for a while,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
So a lot of people came, a lot of thrill seekers came from all over the United States to ride the Raven.
This accident was her fault, right? I believe.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the park claims is
Yeah.
that, and the people on the ride said that she lifted her legs to make the restraint not go down all the way so that she could get out. Now the family of the woman they disagree with that.
Well,
they
of
don't think that
course.
that's accurate. But anyway, so I started looking into like, are there YouTube videos about it? You'd think there would. Holiday World's one of the top theme parks in the United States.
Uh-huh.
People come from other countries to go to Holiday World.
Yeah.
Even though it is, in my opinion, kind of a small park.
Yeah.
There are none.
Well, Holiday World's got a lot of power to get that shit removed.
Yeah, that's some Theme Park Illuminati shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that I could find on there was when the owner of Holiday World passed away, and he was like 84 and died of old age or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only video was like them being like, oh, yeah, we're sad, but we're still going to thrive and blah, blah, blah. And, his legacy's going to live on. But nothing about the death that happened there.
Well, yeah. They're not going to put that on blast.
Six Flags, though, there's so many Six Flags videos
Oh, yeah?
about deaths and injuries that happen.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, it's like all over the country, like stuff in New Jersey and stuff like that. Like,
So
why,
I guess if you're
why
from
Holiday
New
World?
Jersey, just don't get on a roller coaster.
Yeah. But like, why Holiday World? Why did they get missed? Are they just like that small that they can stay out of the YouTube spotlight?
I don't think they're that small because, like I said, we had the Raven was the #1 roller coaster. Then it was the Voyage.
Yeah, I don't think the Legend did anything special.
Well, all three of them. I know all
The
three
Legend
of
came
them,
after the Raven, and then the Voyage was the last one.
Yeah, and all three of them have had the #1 spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or at least I think
didn't know
all
the
three of
Legend
them
did.
were like the top 3.
Yeah, I didn't know the
For a
Legend
while.
did. The Voyage is awesome, though. I love
Yeah.
the Voyage. That's good shit. Oh, they're I forgot. They have a 4th coaster now, the Thunderbird. It's the first all-steel
one.
coaster that they have. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of short though. Like it's a really fast ride.
Yeah, for the amount of time that you wait in line, it's kind of long.
Yeah, it's like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
you wait
fun,
like
though.
2 hours.
It's so smooth. It's worth the wait, I think.
Yeah.
Like, the Voyage is fun. The Raven and the Legend kind of beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're really rough. They're wood
Especially the
coasters,
Raven
but-
now, because it's
Yeah.
so old, it just rattles you to death.
Yeah. But the Thunderbird is so smooth. It's
Yeah.
buttery smooth.
Yeah, and the launch isn't like, it's not extreme. So I've
Right.
been on like, where was it? Magic Mountain, the Superman, where it launches you like
Mhm.
0 to 100.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts.
Is it Superman or was it Mr. Freeze?
Oh, I think it is Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. My sister claims to have gotten whiplash from that.
I could see it. Yeah, it pulls you back pretty quick. And it used to be, I called it the Superman because Superman used to sit up at the top, kind of
Yeah.
looking down on you. But it used to be forward facing, and you would go, just shoots you out, up, and then back down.
Right.
But now it shoots you out backwards, which I almost didn't get on it because I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
But I did, and it was pretty awesome.
There was one at a Six Flags that I went to. It's the only Six Flags I've been to. It was called Greased Lightning, and it was similar to that. It would shoot you out forward, and you'd go to the end, and then you'd come back through the same way backwards, go through a loop, like in reverse, and then you would go up backwards up the same type of hill, and then you'd go back down it through the loop, and then you would stop.
Sounds like, what was it, the Vampire or something
I don't know.
at Kentucky Kingdom?
Oh,
No.
wait, I just realized I've been to two Six Flags.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was interesting to me that the Holiday World seemed to stay off of YouTube. And
Yeah, I think somebody's behind that, like pulling videos.
Hmm.
Just, hey, YouTube, I'll give you
Theme Park
X amount of
Illuminati.
dollars to cut this video out.
I don't think they got that power.
They got a lot of money. Think
Okay.
about it. If they can give people free sodas all day,
That's true. Free sodas and free sunscreen all day, every day.
that's power.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are any other theme parks that do that.
Not that I know of.
All right. If any of the listeners know of any that give away free stuff like that, post it in the comments. Get a
it'd be
conversation
interesting.
started. Also, what are you guys' favorite rides? Like, do you like Holiday World? Do you even know what Holiday World is? Other
Favorite
rides.
park?
Yeah, favorite parks. I really want to go to what's that one?
Yep.
Cedar Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty great.
Sounds like a trip that the four of us should make.
Have you been to Kings Island?
Yes.
That's one of my favorite parks, too.
Yes.
You got the Beast
Mhm.
and Son of Beast.
The Twisted Twins or whatever.
Twisted Sisters.
It used to be called Twisted Sisters.
Oh, is
They
it
had
Twisted
to change
Twins
it to
now?
Twisted Twins because of the band Twisted Sister.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So Twisted Twins was the first roller coaster I ever rode. My uncle paid for me to go there, and he's like, and I was like, I don't ride rides. He's like, look, I did not pay for you to get in here to
You
not
do
ride
now.
rides, to watch us ride rides. And so they rode Beast,
Mhm.
and then we were walking along. I think they rode a second roller coaster, and then we went up to Twisted Twins, and he's like, look, I will give you $100 in cash right now if you ride this and you don't love it.
Hell yeah.
And I
Oh,
was
if
like,
you don't love it,
yeah.
there's the catch.
And I was like, deal, because there's no way that I'm going to enjoy this. So I hopped on and we,
Poker
went on
face.
the ride. I couldn't even poker face, man. I get off the ride and like my hair's all blown back, and think about it, I had never ridden a roller coaster at that point in my life. So I was like, he's like, well, what'd you think? I was like, that was amazing.
I want to ride
next
every
one.
roller coaster now.
So we went right next door from that one to I don't remember what it's called. It's like a mining theme, something.
Yeah, I'm not
Rickety Mountain or something like that,
Yeah.
And then we rode Beast and stuff like that. It was fun.
Beast is another one that'll kind of bump you to death.
Really? I thought
yeah.
it was smooth. It's steel.
It's pretty shaky now.
The second one that we rode was a wooden coaster, and that one shook me to death.
Yeah.
I was like, just like shaking my teeth out.
I liked the Batman roller coasters where your feet dangle.
Yep.
Yeah, except whenever you get off, it's like all the blood rushes to your feet. So whenever you step down, it feels like your feet explode.
So when I rode that, I don't know what happened, but the seat's kind of like a bicycle seat.
Yeah.
Almost. Like we were having a good old time going through there, and then one turn, something in my leg pinched, and I don't know if it was like a nerve inside or if it was like something physically actually pinching my leg, but it hurt like a cigarette being put out on my leg.
Ow.
And so I didn't enjoy the rest of the ride. But as soon as we got off the ride, it went away. You been to any other parks?
Yeah. Well, I've been to Kings Island, Six Flags, Kentucky Kingdom, Six Flags, what is it, St. Louis?
I think I don't think so.
I don't know. There's another one that I've been to.
Maybe they used
Magic
to.
Mountain. I did go to Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
That one is fantastic.
That's at Universal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got the
Hulk.
Except that was like the biggest coaster there, and whenever we were there, down for maintenance. Yeah. But we did get to ride the 4D Spider-Man ride. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I went on it. It was pretty cool. I think I've ridden just about everything at Islands of Adventure, like the Hulk. Then they have the Doctor Doom Tower of Terror or whatever, where you like go up. It's really cool because you're like inside, and then for the whole line, and then you go through this door, and it's open, and you get in the seats, and it like you can't see any of the other passengers. You know how at Holiday World it's like everybody gets in on the same time, and you like look to your right, and there's the next person. This one, you don't see anybody else. It's much bigger, and then you go up, and then after you exit the building, going up the tower, you can kind of see in there. I think there's like 5 or 6 on the thing instead of 4, and then you get up. I mean, it goes forever, and then instead of it launching you like the one at Holiday World, it drops you and then sends you back up. I'm not a huge fan of those that like launch you up and drop you, just because I like to know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so like these rides, they all take you up or down or whatever, and then they sit there for what seems like 12 minutes. And then out of nowhere, it's just whoo.
Yeah.
I like to know if there was just like a beep, something saying, "Hey,
or like
here
a
you
countdown."
Go." Yeah, 3, 2, 1, boom. And that was one of the things that on that Mr. Freeze ride. That's why I was like, "Oh no, because that's 0 to 100, and it just boom."
Yeah.
But we sat in the very front, and the operator, he looked directly at me, and he was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Okay." Boop.
Oh God.
So he kind of gave me a little heads up.
Nice.
And yeah, it was really fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. I love them coasters.
Yeah, they're a good time. Did you get to ride the Dueling Dragons at Islands of Adventure?
Yeah.
That was really cool. That one scared me a little bit because they like the tracks meet at one point and your feet like it feels like they're gonna touch. They're obviously not. They're far enough apart that they'll never touch.
Yeah, but you come in
but it fucking feels like it.
Yeah, you come in however fast you're going.
Jurassic
60
Park
or something.
That ride was cool too.
Yeah.
I didn't ride it the first time, but the second time I was like, I didn't even see this last time.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And then there's the Indiana Jones. It's kind of like it's like a big platform on two huge arms, and the whole platform rotates and also spins. So
I don't think I rode that.
I think it was pretty new whenever we were there. But it like there's water beneath you and like stalagmites and everything, and it'll flip you upside down and like spin you down toward the stalagmites, and water like shoots up at you and it will actually hit you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. But I remember the Dueling Dragons. I started feeling like sick right before I got on that ride. I don't know if it was something I ate, but I was just like, oh, I'm kind of queasy, and I remember right before that ride not feeling so great. So
yeah,
I think it kind of ruined that ride a little bit for me.
Islands of Adventure is right next to Universal, and some of the rides that I got to ride are not there anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure E.T.'s gone.
Yeah.
I think Back to the Future's gone. Earthquake, Jaws. I think all those are gone.
Yeah.
At least
got to make room for all.
Is there one in California?
A
Universal? I don't think so. It's just in Florida, right?
Yeah. I think you're thinking of Disney.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, I think some of those, like a lot of those, are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Got to ride the Mummy roller coaster. That was pretty cool. It's like an indoor roller coaster. It's pretty wild.
I remember that one.
Yep. It's good times.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you? You went to see a movie, didn't you?
I did. My son's first movie. He's 3, and he before the ads even started rolling, he got into Sonic the Hedgehog, which I'm all for because we played the crap out of that game whenever we were little.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually has been running around the house, Daddy, I'm Sonic. Daddy, I'm Sonic. And then he'll just run. Like, he'll run and slam into the front door and then run and slam into the couch and just go back and forth for hours.
Sounds like Sonic to me.
Yeah. And like I said, he's 3, so he's just about at the age where I figured he could go to the theater and sit there. And he did. He did really well. We got the popcorn and the drink, and he mostly sat there and ate the popcorn the whole time, and that kept him occupied. But we did get to about, 20 minutes toward the end, and he was like, Daddy, is it over? Daddy, is it over? Is it over yet? But no, it was a really good movie. I think that video game movies in general have not always succeeded. But this one I thought was really good. They kind of explained why Sonic goes after the rings.
Yeah. No, spoiler-free warning, because I do want to go see it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of our listeners might want to go see it.
Yeah.
But spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
Go.
I really liked it. I thought that the new Sonic design was a lot better.
Yeah.
There was a whole controversy over his
I'm
initial
so glad
design.
they fixed that.
Which, his initial design, he looked like a monster. But yeah, he looked a lot more cartoony, like he did in the games.
Mm-hmm.
The voice acting was great.
Did you watch any of the cartoon Sonics?
Yeah, that's another thing that my son has really been into. We started watching the old one because it was on Netflix, I believe. And then we started watching the newer one with all of the extra characters that they added with, I think, the Dreamcast Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's been all about Sonic. But yeah, review wise, it wasn't. I wouldn't say like many adults would be like, "Oh, that's a great film."
It's not a date night movie.
Yeah, no, it's more of a family movie for sure because it's all about friendship and giving Sonic a family kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gave a little backstory. It actually told who Sonic's parents were, or parent, and his home world was really cool. It was like the Green Hill area. So yeah, there was a lot of I guess fan service that you wouldn't really pick up on unless you had played the games or knew a lot about.
That's
Sonic.
cool, man.
Yeah,
I like that. So, like you mentioned, video game movies don't do very good.
Yeah. I mean, if you
most notably, like Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first ever video game movie.
Yeah.
1993, I think it was.
Oof.
Yeah. John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Yoshi was cool, but not.
Yeah. What's really weird in that movie is they I don't know, they went such a weird way with it. Like, they could have done it so differently. But one of the really weird things is that they revealed that first of all, I don't think they were actually brothers in the movie. They were like...
Yeah, they were just like plumber friends.
Yeah, plumber friends, but like Luigi was almost like more of an adoptive son almost.
Yeah.
But they revealed that Mario's last name is Mario. Mario, and Luigi Mario. That's why they're the Mario brothers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's just the tip of the iceberg. That's like in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Mario. I don't remember that.
But like the whole premise is so weird. Like the dinosaurs they didn't die. They went to another dimension and then they evolved.
Goombas.
Yeah.
Goombas.
Yeah.
But they were like giant lizard mutants.
Yeah.
With tiny heads.
Yeah. And then he like Koopa wanted to devolve Dennis Hopper. He wanted to devolve humans and then take over. Like, why? Like, it's so much work. Just maybe try to go and live on the surface. Like, why do you have to rule the surface?
Now, Bowser wasn't in it, was he?
It was just Dennis Hopper was Koopa.
Yeah, what the
I don't even think he was King Koopa. I'd have to rewatch it. I don't want to, but I'd have to. But yeah, there's just like, if you're
horribly done,
super familiar with the game, you kind of pick up on little things that they try to do, like Yoshi, stuff like that.
That they tried to do.
Daisy was the princess instead of Peach.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she wasn't a princess. She was just Daisy.
Yeah.
So many bad choices, and I think that is the biggest problem with video game movies is the choices that they make.
Yeah.
Some of them don't add enough from the source material. Some of them add too much from the source material.
Try to make it too live action.
And like, I don't know. What are some of the other ones that you can recall?
One that I did really like was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat did really good.
Yeah.
And I think it was because it was limited to the time, but like the effects of, I want to say it was Mortal Kombat 2, not necessarily the first Mortal Kombat, but I think it was the second one had really bad effects.
Annihilation.
Yeah,
terrible. I remember the was it Montaro, the like centaur guy? Horrible. Like the makeup and everything was terrible.
Yeah. And they had what was his name? Reptile.
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah,
bad CGI.
He was in the first one though.
Was he?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one I remember.
Yeah, whenever Liu Kang goes to Outworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fights the statue turns into him. Yeah. Yeah, but the second one was horrible. I liked how they added all of the new characters, but they didn't do a good job.
Yeah. I think the first one storyline wise was much better than the second one. Because the first one was an actual tournament.
Yeah.
The second one was more like a story mode situation.
Yeah, and they had somewhat bigger actors in the first one. Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
Best Raiden by far.
Yeah. No obvious change there in the very first scene of the second one. Because they pick up right where they left off.
Yeah.
And it's just so obvious that it's a different actor.
Yeah, and that's one thing I can't stand with sequels is if you don't get the same actors, it just doesn't feel right.
Right, and then they've got to, like, if they change the character, they have to, like they remove the character, not the actor. They remove the character. They have to, like in Transformers, they had to take Megan Fox out and put somebody else in, and they're like, oh, they just broke up. Yeah, they just had 2 movies of convincing us that they fell in love over this situation. Anyway, that's a discussion for another time.
How did you feel about Street Fighter?
I did not watch Street Fighter.
Oh, with Van Damme?
See, the thing is, I know of it, but I'm not a big Street Fighter game player either. Oh, wow. Like, I've played them, but I'm not huge on fighting games because I get my ass whooped all the time.
Yeah.
I like Mortal Kombat. I own several Mortal Kombat games, but I'm not really good at them, so I get my ass beat a lot.
Me too. Yeah, but
I'm not good at combos.
It was with me and my brother, we would always play those games because he really loved fighting games, and I was like, okay, whatever, it's 2-player, we'll play it, and I would just get smashed. If not, I would be doing the same move over and over, and he would just be like, this is stupid.
You're talking about Cody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over and played Injustice with me, and, like, I had been playing the game for, like, a year.
Yeah.
And he comes over and just whoops my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you don't even know the controls. He's like, nah, I got him. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's natural. I don't know what it is. I remember he got
Prodigy.
Street Fighter 5, and he can just chain combos. Like, he is insane. If he hits you once, you're done. Like, he just keeps going and going and going. But he'll sit in practice mode and learn, like, every single move and every way to chain combos. And, he gets
dedication.
Yeah, he gets
I won't do that. I'll just pause it, check for one move, and then go back. Yeah. What's the freezy one again? Down, forward, X?
We always called it, if it was like the back, diagonal, back and down, we would always call it Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
So we're like, what's this character's move? Oh, it's Sub-Zero X.
Yeah.
What's another video game movie that you can recall?
The obvious one is like Resident Evil.
Oh.
They just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going and
Energizer Bunny of movies.
Yeah, like it wasn't even until like we started talking about that we were going to talk about this on the podcast that I even realized there was 2 I didn't see.
Yeah.
Like, I watched the original 3, and the last one was in, like, Vegas, just Extinction or something like that. And there's 2 more. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the first one did pretty well. Let's try this again. Well, the second one didn't do that well.
But it was still kind of good.
Try it again.
Yeah.
We still didn't do that well.
I was so excited at the end of the first one. Like, the first one I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then... like, they ended it in Raccoon City, and I was like, dude, that's exactly how the game ended.
Yeah.
I was like, that's super cool. And then the second one came out. I was like, yeah, this is dog shit.
Yeah. Like I said, the first one was okay, and then it just went
I think the first one's really good because you don't have to play the games to be invested in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I played the games, and I liked the games, and I enjoyed picking up on the different things that were in the games, even the little things, but like somebody who's never played the games can watch the movie and sit there and just enjoy the movie. You don't have to have any of the backstory.
Yeah, and that's difficult to do with video game movies.
I think that's probably one of the most successful ones.
Yeah. I got another one.
What's that?
We'll circle back to that one.
Okay.
Because it's my favorite. We'll save that for last.
Okay.
What else do we got? Doom. How'd you feel about Doom?
I didn't see Doom either. I meant to watch it before today, but I didn't do that.
Wasn't great.
Yeah. I like The Rock.
And the one thing about that movie that I really did like was they did a segment that was in first person, and it was like it showed his hands with the gun, and like the way he moved, it looked just like the game.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that kind of camera style and that visual effect was really cool.
They did it. Do you remember that? It wasn't a video game movie per se, but do you remember that movie Gamer with Gerard Butler? Where like the convicts would get hooked up to the game, and then the people would control them, and if your convict made it through so many games, they would be set free or whatever, but they would always get killed before then.
I didn't see it, but I remember.
Dude, you haven't seen that? Oh, you gotta see it. It's so good.
Okay.
It's like legitimately a good movie. It's got the guy that played Dexter in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it was a good show.
Michael C. Hall. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember where I was going with that. Oh, they do that first person thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it done well?
Yeah.
Cool.
The whole movie was done pretty well, actually.
Did you see Assassin's Creed?
Yes.
How'd you feel about
that? The funny thing about Assassin's Creed is I went to go see it with your brother and another friend, and we went to see, I want to say we went and saw Rogue One first. I think those came out around the same time. But we went and saw Rogue One, and then we went and ate lunch, and we were supposed to go and see a second movie, and I was like, let's go watch Assassin's Creed. I really want to watch it. And they're like, the reviews are really bad. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't always trust reviews. And I still stand by that. I still stand by you can't trust reviewers because you can have the ones that you trust that like go along with your normal. But unless I see the movie, there's a lot of movies that people hate that me and Mar love.
Yeah.
Like Happy Death Day. It's a fucking silly-ass movie that most people probably haven't seen, probably don't like. We love it.
Is that the one where the girl gets murdered every day?
Yeah, it's her birthday, and she it's like a Groundhog Day.
I like
movie.
that one.
Yeah, it's really good. It's silly, and like it. I don't know. It's just a fun date movie for us. And then when the second one came out, we're like, gotta see that. And there's a third one coming out too. So,
but yeah, the first one was really good. We really liked it.
Yeah. But so I don't really trust reviews. So anyway, I was like, we can't trust reviews. Let's go watch it anyway and make our own decision. Awful idea. And they have never let me live it down ever. They're just like every time a new movie comes out, and they're like, "Oh, can you trust reviews? Huh? Can you trust reviews on this one?" And I'm like, "Shut up." But it was real bad.
Ooh.
It was real bad. The story was muddied. It didn't really make sense. The backstory didn't really line up with the video game. The characters were changed from the video game. The animus was completely different, which I understand they kind of have to change things to keep people's attention a little bit more, but there's some things that you don't need to change. They made really poor choices on what to change and what not to change.
Yeah.
So, like, if you were going to make Assassin's Creed, like, from the beginning, I would assume that you would choose one of the characters from the game.
Sure.
Like Altair.
Yeah.
Right? Not in this fucking movie. I don't even remember the dude's name. That's how much I care.
He was just a dude with a cool costume and a knife in his wrist.
Yes. And we know from the multiple video games that there are multiple generations of assassins, and there's several different types of assassins, but they just went completely off script with this one. And then they tried to like shove some stuff down your throat. Like, probably the most ridiculous part, and I thought your brother was going to get up and walk out when this happened, but there's this part where they're being chased, and the parkour in the movie was supposed to, like, everybody's like, oh, the parkour is so good, so good. You can barely see it. Like, and that's, you can say that for almost the whole movie. Their budget for CG wasn't as high as it needed to be, so they just covered everything with like smoke. They were like, oh, everything's just on fire because there's a war or something. So you can't really because every time he'd go into the Animus, like you'd follow this eagle or hawk or whatever in, and so it would be from up above, and there's just all this smoke and fire and stuff, and you're like, what am I even looking at? And then you've seen the Aladdin movie, right?
Oh yeah.
The parkour in Aladdin is better than Assassin's Creed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's like that's 50% of the game at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, there's this part where they're being chased, and he like has to jump off of this really high place,
right?
And he like spreads his arms out and jumps, and it cuts back to the lady in the real world, and she goes, it gets quiet, and she goes, the leap of faith. Your brother looks over at me, and he's like, fuck you. I fucking hate you. And I was like, I know, I'm so sorry. There's a part where he sings Patsy Cline really loud.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I just feel bad for Fassbender, because like he had a really good career going, and now he's either Magneto or he's a bad decision. But yeah, it was bad. It was really, really bad. Like, if I could take back those 2 hours, I would.
Yeah, prime example of video game movies not working.
Yeah, they just made bad decisions. Go with a character that we know. Go with why do we want to watch a video game movie
if it has nothing to do with a video game except design?
Yeah, if the name is the same but it's a fucking different story, we love the characters and the stories in the video games. That's why we want to see them in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Whatever.
How'd you feel about Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider's good. Which Tomb Raider?
Let's go with the first one.
So like the Angelina Jolie ones?
Yeah.
Those were good. They were a little bit more closer to the game, I would say. Like not necessarily closer to the game. Cartoony?
Yeah.
Maybe that's...
It was actually Lara Croft,
yeah,
and not a different character.
Yeah. Yeah. They were done well. They, the storylines were pretty good. Good execution.
Yeah. That's what I would say. Just good.
Just good. Yeah. That's
not great.
Have you seen the new ones?
No.
With the new chick?
No.
So the new chick looks just like the young Lara Croft in the new games.
Cool.
Like the Rise of Tomb Raider and stuff like that.
I really like those games.
Those games are awesome.
I like them
but these new movies are more gritty and more real, and like they feel heavier, like they feel more grounded, like it feels more real. Even though the other ones are like live action and real and stuff, she's like flipping like a person never possibly could, because Lara Croft does that in the video game.
Oh, yeah.
This one feels a little more attached to the real world, and they're really good. Like, I don't know how to say it.
I think with the newer gen games, like the new Lara Croft, the new Tomb Raiders, it would be easier to make a movie from them because the games are so close to movies. Like,
true.
It's basically like you're playing a movie.
Right.
So, there's not a lot of reason to stray from the plot lines.
Like the new the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare that just came out. Yeah. When I play it, the cutscenes look like real life. Like, I don't even know how to explain it other than it looks like real life. And then when you're in game, it's still very real. Like, it's beyond any other game I've ever played. And of course, with like ray tracing and stuff getting better and better with games, and more games coming out with it, like, stuff just looks more real and real. And the movie industry is just going to have to understand that we're already watching what we want to see you do, so you have to,
Step your shit up.
Make the right choices.
Yeah.
Just because I've heard there's a Call of Duty game and a Duke Nukem game, or sorry, not game, movie. Duke Nukem movie, and like they just, I don't want to see just another Call of Duty or another war movie, and you slap Call of Duty on the front of it.
I feel like that's what it would be.
Like
for sure.
I want to see the characters.
Yeah.
If I don't see the characters from Call of Duty in the Call of Duty movie, I don't care.
Yeah. Here's Black Hawk Down, but we're going to call it Call of Duty.
Here's SEAL Team 6, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I've seen that movie.
So my favorite video game movie, and this may not be everybody's opinion, but I think it's Courtney's as well, my wife.
My wife.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. I think I've seen bits and pieces of that movie. I have never seen it all the way through.
Oh man.
And I will be 100%. I haven't played the game. Like I watched somebody play the game.
Yeah.
I don't like scary games. I'm a little baby, and
I'm the same way. If I play a scary game, I'm like, Courtney, come here and watch me play this, so I'm not alone.
Come sit with me, please.
But no, it was a great movie. The effects were amazing, and the whole concept of Silent Hill is it's like this town, and whenever you go into the town, you're stuck there, and you'll hear like a weather siren that, and whenever you hear that,
perfect weather siren.
Thank you. Whenever you hear that, you are basically like the walls and stuff just flake away, and it turns into basically hell. So like everything's fiery, and there's like mutants, and then there's the nurses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the nurses. So they're in these old like 50s nurse outfits, and they have no face, but they have these like scalpels. And if you make sound, it like activates them. So if you make a sound, they'll start like slashing, and you know, they got the like twitchy ghost like movement. And there's a lot about that movie that was awesome. They put Pyramid Head in there. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it because it's cool.
Yeah, I'll try to watch it this weekend.
Yeah. Here's a question: what video games have not been made into movies that you think would make great movies?
The obvious answer for me is like Star Wars Old Republic stuff.
Yeah.
So we've seen every millisecond in the Star Wars universe from episode 1 to episode 9, except for the little bit that we're going to get in the Obi-Wan show.
Mm-hmm.
Once that show comes out, we'll have a complete timeline of that bullshit that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I call it bullshit. It's my favorite thing in the world, but it's bullshit. The Old Republic games are so incredible with their backstories.
Yeah.
There's so many characters with more depth than probably 3/4 of the characters in the Skywalker saga.
Yeah. I still think those are the best Star Wars games.
Yeah,
by far.
And there's always rumors, but if they made a what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This hurts my brain.
What does he look like? Does he have a lightsaber?
He's 2 lightsabers. One's red, one's purple.
Oh.
Revan. Darth Revan. If they made a Revan movie,
sick.
And a lot of Star Wars fans wants Keanu Reeves to play Revan. Do you know Revan's backstory?
No.
Okay, real quick. Revan was a Jedi,
and
then he denounced the Jedi faith and like went off on his own, and then like sealed himself off from the Force. Then he turned to the dark side, and Revan is a dark side user to the extent where he legitimately believes in balance of the Force. So he will hunt down Jedi or Sith to bring balance.
So he's like a true neutral.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
And that's why he carries a red lightsaber and a purple lightsaber. But he wears when he's Darth Revan, he wears like a mask, kind of like Kylo Ren and stuff. But he's like a tortured soul, and like I don't know, he's really in tune with the Force.
Now, isn't Mace Windu also supposed to have some like dark side training?
That is
because that was the idea behind. At least I read this somewhere. Is that he kind of rides the dark side a little bit, and that's why his saber is purple, because it was initially blue, but then because of his dark side training or whatever.
So that is a theory that was made up by fans. That is not anything close to being canon, nor has it ever been canon. The one and only reason why Mace Windu has a purple lightsaber is because oh god, what's the actor's name? What's the actor's name?
Sam Jackson.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. When they filmed episode 2 and they did that big fight scene in the Coliseum, he couldn't see his lightsaber. And he went to George Lucas and he said, I want a purple lightsaber so I can pick myself out in the crowd. And he said, I'm sorry, the only colors of lightsabers are blue, green, and red. Yeah. That's the only lightsaber color that exists in the Star Wars universe. And
then they threw in yellow and black and white.
I don't care. I want my purple lightsaber.
I'm Sam Jackson, bitch.
And he told him no. Comes around to opening night, the premiere or whatever, and they're sitting in the premiere watching it, and that scene comes up, purple lightsaber.
Oh shit!
And he was
Samuel Jackson's in the audience crying.
Yeah, so he was surprised by the purple lightsaber. That's cool. But was George Lucas? Gave him that little thing. And that's what started colored lightsabers in the Star Wars universe. And then it like trickled down, and now there's a bunch of colors, and people say there are different reasons. The only thing that Mace Windu, canon-wise, has a connection to anything remotely like the dark side is the fact that his fighting style was a new fighting style. He created his type. There's like 6 types. His is type 7, and he made it up, and it is used to try and like overpower your opponent and keep them on their heels. And that was not anything that the Jedi had ever done before.
So it has to be dark side.
Not yeah, exactly. If the Jedi didn't think of it, it has to be dark. But it was darker than the other styles, and that's why that came up. But anyway, we've got way off subject there. So I could talk about Star Wars. I don't know if that actually
counts, though, because that was a movie that was turned into a game. Then
Rocket League.
A Rocket League movie.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough sell.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Think Death Race.
Okay.
But with brighter colors. And it's like Death Race meets Fast and Furious. The first one.
Okay.
Not the bullshit that happens now.
So pitch me the story.
Okay. I don't have a story per se, but I'll give you a premise.
Okay.
Okay. So Rocket League is like a thing. Like it's a sport and it would have to be like a futuristic type situation.
Well, sure.
Where they have like holograms and stuff
flying
like you
cars.
see in the game. Yeah, flying cars. But it would basically just be high action like Death Race or like the first what was I keep wanting to say Lord of the Rings. Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Where you get like shots inside the car. I know in Rocket League there are not actual drivers in the cars, but it's a movie, you have to. Unless you want to make it like the movie Cars, which I don't.
No.
I want to make it hardcore.
Yeah.
So you would have like people in nice cars, like the Octane and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those would be like the jockey people, you know what I mean? Like the jocks. And then you would have
like the Grog and the Ripper would be like punks
and they'd be like Mad Max style, they'd be, bald head and like look like they stink and stuff like that. And they'd be, you could have people in a Dominator or something with the paint all ripped up, and you would want to add stuff from the game. So kind of like Ready Player One did, where you could go in, like they showed where you could go in and get your upgrades and stuff like that. You would have that sort of situation at some point where you could go in and like, oh, you won today's match, so you get this crate or whatever. I know it's not like that in the game anymore, but like you get this crate, you open it up and you get wheels or a decal or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you could see the players like put new decals on and change their paint jobs and stuff like that. And the main player would like or the main character would be like somebody who's not very good or like a newcomer or whatever, and everybody's like, oh boy. And you could have like special cameos from like Squishy Muffins and stuff like that.
I'm thinking of kind of a mashup that would explain everything. Chappie, but with Rocket League. So it could even be like remote controlled cars, but like on actual real life scale. But it's like the cars are the robot.
What if you did an idea where it was kind of like Gamer, which I talked about a minute ago, where the players take control of the convicts, and the convicts have no free will whatsoever. What if it was like that, but the driver in the car was like fake, like a robot like Chappie or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the actual drivers were off location, like under the field or something. And the whole premise behind the game, behind the matches and stuff, like the whole thing is that the Rocket League people, the people who like own the Rocket League, have to continue to convince the public that it's real. And like, if people find out that it's not real, they'll stop watching or whatever.
That could explain why the field is encapsulated in that force field dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe the main character, like, they ask him to throw a match or something like that. We already have the winner for this season picked out. And, you're not going to make it to Grand Champion, so you just need to bow out here in, gold or whatever.
Yeah.
And
he says, fuck the system, and wins, and everybody's like,
exactly.
Oh my God, it's all fake.
Yeah, and he reveals that it's fake somehow.
Yeah.
Or maybe he has to actually drive the car at some point.
God.
Yeah, maybe the people who do Rocket League like set his car up to where his robot doesn't work anymore.
I think that it's either a make or break. It's one of those that it could be a cool movie, or it could be one of those ones that just sucks. Like, oh, here's another car movie that they threw Rocket League on.
Yeah, they'd fuck it up somehow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What about you? What?
Oh man, there's so many. I think that Shinobi. Like the old, what was it, Sega game?
Yeah, but I know the name. I don't know the game.
It was a platformer, and it's the ninjas, so it's another one of those that could go either way. It could be really cool, or it could just be crap. I don't know how. I mean, yeah, I do. Altered Beast. Did you ever play Altered Beast?
No, but there is a movie in the works.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Oh,
I saw it on the list
day was
yesterday.
just made. Yeah, that game was fantastic. There was the evil guy, and now I don't know the names, but there was like the evil villain, and he takes your love and kidnaps her, and you try to find her, and it's another platformer, and you just walk across and you kill like zombies and all kinds of stuff, and then there's these wolves that come across, and if you kill the blue wolf you get a power up, and when you catch that power up, your dude he actually goes power up, and then he gets like he gets buff and his shirt rips a little bit, and then you get another one power up, and his shirt rips completely off, and then he's like all Arnold Schwarzeneggered out, and then if you get a third, it goes to like a little cutscene, and he turns into a wolf on the first level, and once he's a wolf, he gets like whenever he punches, it shoots like a firebolt, and his kick is like he turns into like a bolt of energy and like shoots across the screen. The second level, he turns into a dragon and you can fly, and then the third level, he turns into a bear, and then
wait, it downgrades from a dragon to a bear?
Yeah.
I would be so pissed off playing that game and be like, oh man, how could they get better than a dragon? Oh, a bear.
Yeah, and then the bear, like his moves are like a somersault. And
what?
Yeah, and he like bends down and like spits, I guess, but like a little bubble
like
comes
a
out of
bear
his
does.
mouth. Yeah, and it freezes the opponent. So
yeah,
it
like a
turns into
bear.
stoners. Yeah, like a bear.
Your common bear things.
Yeah. And then I think it's a wolf again, and then or a tiger, and then a wolf again.
I remember the last time I went to the zoo, I saw a bear and a wolf and a dragon, and they were spitting ice and stuff.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Games
are stupid. Video games are stupid.
And then you get into more of, like I said, the newer gen games that would make fantastic movies because they're already
right
like movies themselves.
Shut your ass.
I think one of my favorites would be Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah, they'd fuck that up hard though.
Yeah,
Metal Gear's such a good game series, and like they take so long to beat, and like it's just
it's because you play for like 30 minutes at least. I'm talking about like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you play for like 30 minutes, you get to, the end of that section, and then you watch seriously like a 1 to 2 hour cutscene.
What?
Yeah. And then you play for like another hour, and then you watch another hour-long cutscene.
What?
Yeah, I played it with Zach, and we beat the game, and it takes like 2 days
That's
to
insane.
beat the whole thing. Yeah.
Do you know how quickly I would give up on a 1 hour cutscene?
Yeah. But they're enthralling. Like, and if you skip it, you don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm not I'm not invested in any game enough to sit through a 1 hour cutscene. Yeah. Like if you have if you have 4 hours worth of cutscenes in your game over the course of the game, sure, I'm in. But I'm not going to sit there for an hour to 2 hours watching
way more than 4 hours in Metal Gear Solid, yeah. But that's the thing that would make it difficult to make a movie about it because there's so much content.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you could here are these Metal Gear that the Liquid Snake's trying to take control of the world through these Metal Gear, and Solid Snake's trying to infiltrate, and it could work.
They just need to follow the storyline of the one that was on PlayStation.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Another good one, I think would be super easy and great, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, that would be easy.
Yeah. Everybody loves a Western.
Easily fucked up.
That too. I mean, any of these, video game movie can easily be screwed up. What about BioShock?
I've heard a lot of people say that. I've never played BioShock.
Yeah,
I hear it's a great game. But
it is. Yeah, I think the reason why I say it would make a great movie is just because of what they could do with the sets.
Yeah.
because the whole thing's in like this underwater hotel, basically.
Now's the time to do it too. Like if you would have asked me like 5, 6, 7 years ago, nah, CG wasn't where it needs to be. You'd end up with like Star Wars Episode 1, you know, Gungan Underworld, you know. But yeah, now or like what is that one movie? I don't remember, but
good story.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they're good ideas, but that's the problem with video games or video game movies is that the video games are such good ideas that Hollywood's like, yeah, I can do that better.
Yeah.
And then they just
I'm going to take my own artistic spin on this.
Yeah.
Here's one that would be really easy to make into a movie. Fallout?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nuclear war. You're stuck in this capsule. One guy goes out, explores the world. Boom.
It would probably be a better series, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because it would be like
on Netflix.
The first movie or first episode, he gets out of the capsule, and then he finds this town.
Because those are long games.
Oh,
like, yeah. And they've got so many branches that you can go off and do.
Yeah,
so.
Well, it's an RPG, so it's going to be...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get too long-winded, because we can talk about this all day, we need to talk about some of the changes that are going to be coming to the channel.
Oh, but I got one more.
Okay.
One more. Last one, I promise.
Exhausting. Go ahead.
Zelda.
Yeah. That's kind of been one that video game players, you know, as they call them, gamers, have talked about for years. Like, there's so many different Zelda games. Maybe people would stop calling Link Zelda.
For the love of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, I think that would be excellent.
Yeah. Again, I think that might be a better one for a series than it would be for a show.
Either way.
Or for a movie.
Live action. Either way.
Unless they're just trying to cash in on multiple movies. But then you run into, like, the different types of Link and, like, the different timelines of Link, and you'd have to like cast different people and just do it.
Just do one movie.
Just do a show.
One movie.
Just do a show.
Or one show.
Or a show.
Or a movie.
Netflix original. Or HBO. Maybe HBO could take it.
Anyone. Yeah. Just please, for the love of
God,
somebody do it.
Just do it.
All right. So changes.
So let's talk about some of the stuff that's coming down the pipeline. We have been working super hard, like messaging each other like 15 million times a day, trying to come up with more content to push to the channel and come up with different stuff that you guys want to hear or watch or whatever. So a couple of the things that we've talked about that I think we're going to work on nailing down. The first one that me and Taylor have wanted to do for a while is adding gaming content.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we just talked about video games for an hour. So
if you couldn't tell,
we
enjoy the gamers.
So the way that the gaming content that we want to push to you, and this is just coming out of our brains, please comment on YouTube, tell us on Facebook or Instagram what you want to see so that we can fix this and make it to what you want to see and what other people might want to see. So what we're thinking is doing like unscripted gaming, but with more of a story-driven situation. So for those of you who, you know,
what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah,
Adam?
that it sounds confusing when I say unscripted story-driven, but basically, you know, we would play the video games from like a role-play sort of style. Yeah. But we would, like, as if we are the characters, but we wouldn't, like, we would use our names. You know, we wouldn't call each other, like, Carrie and David. We'd still be Taylor and Adam. But, like, it would be like we are in the situations, and we would let the game basically lead us through, and whatever happens, and it would be us reacting to the situation, basically. Yeah. And, you know, we want to play some games like Ark.
Yeah.
We want to play Dead by Daylight.
Ooh. I mean, I wouldn't say I want to play Dead by Daylight, but that game scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's good. We want to do some Rocket League stuff. So for anybody who likes to watch sports, maybe Rocket League would be your thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you have ideas like, let's see you play Rocket League, but let's see you try to do. Let's see your attempts at double touches. Let's see if you can win a game.
Most people who are listening to this have no idea what the fuck you just said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so
if there's like special shots that you want us to try, or if you want to see like a 1v1 against me and Adam, whatever you want to see, let us know.
If there are games that you want to watch us play, like who knows, maybe we'll get our wives in here and we'll play like Mount Your Friends, where you like create the ladder of people.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
We could play like Overcooked. We can. If you guys have any ideas for different games we could play, we will more than likely try anything. Also, we want to add another show to the channel. This one would be more movie-based, and it would be entirely movie-based, actually.
Yeah.
And we call it Cheap Date. And the reason that we call it Cheap Date is because it would basically be movie reviews of movies that you can watch at home already.
Yeah.
Like whether it be through Redbox or Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. And we would, starting out, we want to watch the movies and then basically review them
from our perspective.
And we want to hear what movies you want us to review. Old movies, new movies, doesn't matter. As long as we can watch it from home, we want to review it. And the reason is we are Cheap Dates.
Yeah. I mean, preferably more familiar movies. That way, everyone in the audience can relate.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but
might not watch it.
Yeah.
But we also are planning on adding video to these podcasts. We're going to be adding video to obviously the gaming stuff is going to be video based, and then there's also going to be video added to the Cheap Date stuff at some point. So if you guys like these ideas, please again comment on the video below. Let us know on Facebook or Instagram. That's where we're at right now. You can also listen to this podcast on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.
We're on the SoundCloud.
Just search for Nacho Daddy's podcast on any of those platforms, and you'll be able to find us. We're the only one.
That's Nacho Daddy's, DADDYS.
Yeah.
With an apostrophe in there somewhere.
Yeah. And make sure that you are subscribing. Please subscribe. Like the video and comment, because if you don't comment, we won't know that you absolutely hated us talking about video game movies, and we won't know what you want to see or hear.
Yeah. If you got hate, throw it our way.
Yeah.
If you like it, throw it our way.
You have no idea. We love hate.
Love it.
We love to be hated.
Love it.
Yeah. It's our favorite thing. That's why we
Bring
got
it.
married. The other thing is we are working on merch.
Merch.
So right now, the biggest thing that is easy for us to have made is like koozies for your beer or your soda or your water. And
go get me a beer.
We
make sure you put it in a Nacho Daddy's koozie.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like your stepdad, somebody's stepdad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Might be your stepdad, might be your stepdad. I don't know. Maybe you right there, you don't have a stepdad. Anyway, so yeah, we're working on merch. Let us know what you want our awesome logo on, and or our name or whatever.
Tattoo.
Tattoo. Let us know what you would wear or purchase or even receive for free, because we are going to be doing merch giveaways very soon.
Free merch is the best merch.
Yes, we'll be giving out koozies. I think we're working on shirts, decals. I'd like to do enamel pins at some point, but that seems kind of niche and expensive. So I want to make sure that we have people that actually want them before we go designing them.
Might do that down like 1,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah. So basically, we don't have exactly what we're going to be giving away and when and all that stuff yet, but we are working on it very soon. So please let us know what kind of merch you want to see. Let us know what kind of content you want to see or hear. We're just starting out, so please bear with us. We're working this down, and we appreciate everybody who has subscribed to our YouTube channel. We're at like 90 views, which is over 3 times more.
We're famous.
That's over 3 times more than the last podcast I tried to do, and that podcast has been up for 5 years.
Damn.
Yeah, so make sure that you're liking and subscribing. I know I've said that before, but please make sure we've got 90 views and only like 6 subscribers.
That's I think all those views are because of your co-host here.
No, I don't think so. But also go listen to us on SoundCloud, and make sure that you are following us on Instagram and Facebook. If you're not doing that, then you are failing at life, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, how you going to know when we post stuff?
Yeah. So we're going to be pushing these podcasts out weekly.
At least.
So we want to get to where we're doing 3 videos a week. The podcast, a Nacho Daddy's Gaming, and Cheap Date.
Yeah.
And those cheap dates, by the way, I didn't mention this. The cheap dates aren't just going to be me and Taylor. So some of them will be me and Taylor. Maybe the first one will be...
Are you talking special guests?
Yeah. There's going to be special guests on the podcast, too.
Oh.
Yeah, you know all this.
Yeah. I know. But
Thank you for acting surprised, though. That was fun.
Yeah.
So the cheap date will be me and Taylor, me and Mar, my wife, Taylor and Courtney, or Taylor and Mar, me and Courtney, all 4 of us. Maybe just the wives.
Yeah.
They might.
We can throw in all kinds of people. I don't know. Bring in friends, family.
No, you're the only friend I have.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. That makes me sad because you're the only friend I have.
Oh. Anyway, so yeah, please we need feedback.
And more feedback.
Yeah, all the feedback in the world, please. We're hungry for feedback. All right, so that's pretty
a lot
good
to
recording.
Look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's all we have for today. We had a couple more things we wanted to do, but we'll just push that off to the next episode.
Sure.
So, yeah. Okay. So we love you all. Thank you so much for all your listenings and your likesings.
It has been a pleasure talking at you.
Followingses and all of those things. We love you so much. All of you who's given us feedback, thank you. You're helping us immensely.
Just give us more.
Those of you who aren't giving us feedback, you're worthless to us.
You're killing it.
I'm just kidding. You're not worthless because
we love
you
all.
Still have time. The offer still stands. Anyone who wants to give us feedback, you have until 9 p.m. on Saturday to give us feedback, and then the offer's over.
Yep.
Done deal.
Cut off.
Yep. I like the sense of urgency.
Yeah. That's a tight window to slap that hate on us.
Yep. All right. We love you all, and thank you for listening to Nacho Daddy's podcast.
Goodbye, everybody.